Hello everyone. I welcome you all to the Indian Act segment of Lakshyavedh IAS. और आज हम देखेंगे कि एक आइडिया को हम एक्ट में कैसे बदलते हैं। मेरे पास आपके लिए एक सवाल है। क्या कभी आपने सोचा है कि हमें व्हीकल्स पे हेलमेट पहनना क्यों कंपलसरी किया गया है? या फिर हमने जो पिछली बार राइट टू एजुकेशन एक्ट देखा था, वो कैसे आया? वो किसने लाया? क्या कभी आपने ये सोचा है? तो आज हम यही देखेंगे कि एक आइडिया को एक्ट में कैसे बदला जाता है। एक आइडिया को एक्ट में कैसे बदला जाता है। For this we have different stages. The legislative quest is here. From a rule to an act, how a rule is made to be an act. The first thing we need to understand what is a rule first. A rule is basically the introduction on what to do and what not to do. A rule is basically in your schools also you have rules ki you should wear uniform daily, right? That is a rule. After that, for understanding what is a law is nothing but a official rule that is made by the legislature. Legislature is the authority that makes a rule, and because the legislature is making this rule, it is known as the law. The example we saw of helmets. Why are helmets compulsory? That is a law. After that, what is a bill? We need to understand. A bill is nothing but a draft or a proposed law. अब जो आइडिया को हम प्रपोज करते हैं पार्लियामेंट में उसे हम बिल कहते हैं, जो अभी तक एक्ट नहीं बना है. आफ्टर दैट कम्स एक्ट्स. Act is basically what is passed by the legislation plus requires the assent of President of India. Okay, here is the formula for you to remember all these things. First comes the problem or an idea. After that, it gets transferred into a bill because it is not passed yet. After that, we need the legislature's approval on it for it becoming an act. After that, we need the assent of president. After that, it becomes an act. Please do remember this. Let's move on to the next slide. Now we need to understand what is Article 79, which is very important. See, you have Article 79 here. Article 79 basically tells us there are two houses. First is the Lok Sabha and second is the Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha, that is the house of people. Do remember these differences. Lok Sabha is the house of people and Rajya Sabha is the council of states, council of ministers. Here we have Parliament makes laws for the whole country. States also have their own legislative assemblies to make state laws. Okay, so we need to understand in the central level, जब हम देखते हैं यूनियन सेंटर ऑफ इंडिया में we have लोक सभा and राज्य सभा. अगर आप आएंगे महाराष्ट्र में we have विधान सभा and विधान परिषद, which is very similar to these. Let's move on to the next slide. Now there are three different buckets of power here. First is the union list. The union list is basically the central list. Okay. After that, there is the state list, which is nothing but the states. And then we have the concurrent list. So we'll first understand what is the central list. Central list में वो चीजें आती है जिसमें बस center can make laws and acts. ओके उसमें फिर आएगा करेंसी रिलेटेड मैटर्स, उसमें आएगा डिफेंस रिलेटेड मैटर्स, डिफेंस ऑफ द कंट्री, उसमें फिर आएगा फॉरेन अफेयर्स, जो भी हमारे फॉरेन पॉलिसीज है दूसरे देशों के साथ, वो आता है सेंट्रल लिस्ट में. वो स्टेट्स नहीं बना सकते. उसके बाद व्हेन वी सी द स्टेट्स लिस्ट, वी हैव पुलिस. द पुलिस इन द स्टेट इज गवर्न्ड बाय स्टेट लिस्ट. आफ्टर दैट, एग्रीकल्चर रिलेटेड टू मैटर्स. द मैटर्स रिलेटिंग टू द एग्रीकल्चर comes under the state list. That is why the state can make laws and acts related to agriculture. After that, public health. Public health is a motto of state. The state needs to focus on public health. After that, between both these, we have the concurrent list. Okay. This is the central, that is the state, and this is the concurrent list. The concurrent list में आता है first of all our education. As we have seen all this protest and all happening around, NTA related protest, धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी का हमने जो इस्तीफा देखा, that also comes under concurrent list because education is falls under the concurrent list. After that, forest department, forest related any issue is there, अगर cutting down forest का issue आता है तो वो आएगा concurrent list में, जिसमें both state and also the center can make acts and laws as per the requirement is there. Marriage related issues are there. Okay, these are all the concurrent list issues on which the state and the center can make laws. Now we also need to understand that both parliament and states can use the concurrent list. Okay, both parliament is the center and states is the state, can use the concurrent list. But if they argue over a valid law, if there is an argument between the state and the center, then always the union law prevails. Union law wins. The center will always prevail over the state laws. That we need to understand here. After that, who can make a bill? Who chooses a bill? So basically, first we have government bill. A government bill is introduced by the ministers. Ministers are the people who we have voted for and who come into the power are the ministers. After that, we have MPs, members of parliament. Members of parliament can have people from different sectors, like who have made significant changes in education sector, who have made significant changes in films. That comes under MPs. Sorry, this got erased, I guess. Okay. This is the basic difference between the ministers and the MPs. So the ministers can bring government bills. Ministers can bring government bills and MPs can bring private members' bills. That is, they can suggest changes in laws, they can suggest amendments in laws. That is what the MPs can do. And the government bill is basically a government policy. The government represents it and the government के जो members होते हैं वो वही उसी को लाते हैं. After that, we have types of bills. So let's see here. Basically, there are two types of bills that are compulsory. One is the ordinary bill and second is the money bill. So I have a simple trick for you here. That is, all the money related bills are known as money bills. Very easy to understand. All the money related bills. Please do remember this. It is a very nice trick for you. Money related bills are the money bills. Very easy to understand. And after that, how to remember ordinary bills? So basically, जिन भी चीजों में money नहीं होता है, जिन भी acts में money की जरूरत नहीं होती है, वो होते हैं general ordinary bills. That's it. जो bill money bill नहीं है, वो है ordinary bill. Very easy to understand. So general matters like education, transport, these fall under ordinary bill, and money bills have tax related bills and government funds related bills. कि government के ये funds किसको मिलेंगे, कौन सी ministry को मिलेंगे, that falls under money bills. That is it. And these are subtypes. Basically, we can say that is financial bill is a subtype. The bills which have money bills, the bills which have money related things but also any other purposes related to finance falls under the finance bills. So remember this by finance plus other rules falls under the financial bills. After that, we have constitutional amendment bills. Any change that is needed in the constitution, any amendment that is needed in the constitution falls under the amendment bill. That is it. After that, we have steps. How a bill becomes an act, the steps for it. So first thing we need to understand is that identifying the problem. What is the problem for which identifying the problem for which the act is needed. So if there are road safety concerns, as you can see in this picture, यहाँ पे दो गाड़ियां हैं जो एक दूसरे को भिड़ गई है basically. So we need to understand कि we need a stronger road safety act here. लोगों ने जिसको follow करना चाहिए और basically हमारी road safety उससे increase होगी. So this is the problem. That is the first step. First step completed, identified the problem. After that comes step number 2. That is the research. As you can see in this picture here, After identifying the problems, there are different informations available. Expert opinions can be taken. Citizens can be asked what we need to change, and courts can also give us courts हमें suggestions दे सकता है कि ये हमें करने की जरूरत है यहाँ पे. तो स्टेप सेकंड इज डूइंग द रिसर्च. रिसर्च जो आप करोगे कि जो इंसिडेंट हुआ उसके रिलेटेड आपको एक आइडिया आया कि इस पे रोड सेफ्टी की जरूरत है, तो उसमें आप एक्सपर्ट्स का ओपिनियन लोगे, सिटीजन्स का ओपिनियन लोगे, कोर्ट्स का ओपिनियन लोगे. वो आता है रिसर्च में. दैट इज द स्टेप नंबर 2. आफ्टर दैट कम्स स्टेप नंबर 3, दैट इज ड्राफ्टिंग ऑफ बिल. You can see here, there's a small little bill here. So after doing all the research, we need to draft the bill. We need to make the paperwork of it. After that, writing exact rules, writing the definitions and all the penalties that will be available, that is all is in the draft. After that comes step number 4, that is very important, approval. Government bills need a green light before entering the parliament. तो बेसिकली जो कमिटी सेटअप किए जाते हैं रिसर्च करने के लिए, ड्राफ्ट करने के लिए, उनसे आपको ग्रीन लाइट मिलना चाहिए कि आपका ये बिल आगे जाएगा पार्लियामेंट में. दैट इज द अप्रूवल पार्ट, 4th स्टेप. Okay. Now we need to understand how the bill is passed in the first house, that is the Lok Sabha. So there happens first reading. The bill is introduced by any minister in the Lok Sabha, and the copies of it are given to other members and to the speaker of Lok Sabha. After that happens the second reading. Detailed examination is done, clause by clause they examine it. Review is done, committees are set up, committees give it a checklist कि ये checklist अगर वो satisfy कर रहा है तो ही वो आगे जाएगा. After the second reading happens the third reading, the final vote. The house basically tells us that it is a yes or no for the bill to go to the second house. Yes or no. The final reading. अगर ये 3 steps follow किए जाते हैं लोक सभा में, तभी वो बिल जाएगा राज्य सभा में. That is it here. And we can understand that every ordinary bill must survive 3 readings to pass the first level. If the majority votes yes, it moves to the नेक्स्ट हाउस. तो बेसिकली मेजोरिटी वोट होता है, 2/3 मेजोरिटी आपको मिलनी चाहिए जो भी वहां पे प्रेजेंट मिनिस्टर्स है उनसे, एंड देन द बिल पासेस टू द नेक्स्ट हाउस. सो द बिल हियर एंटर्ड द सेकंड हाउस. कैन यू सी वी हैव रिटर्न हियर राज्यसभा, द बिल हैज एंटर्ड. तो यहाँ पे 4 चीजें हो सकती है. वी एज यू कैन सी देयर आर 4 रोड्स हियर, 1 2 3 and 4. So first, if there are no changes suggested by Rajya Sabha, the bill basically is passed and turned into an act. That's it. After that, if there are any changes suggested by the Rajya Sabha, the bill goes back to the House of People. That is the Lok Sabha. अगर कोई changes suggest करता है राज्यसभा, then the bill goes back to the Lok Sabha. After that, there can be a third way. Rejection of the bill. The Rajya Sabha can also reject the bill on their issues, whatever are arising out of it. Also, there's a third lane here, to the third lane, that delay in taking actions. If the Rajya Sabha is not taking any action related to the bill for up to 6 months, then the bill basically gets rejected or revoked. That's it. After that comes the checklist part. If the Rajya Sabha is not satisfied by the bill that is passed by the Lok Sabha, it sends it to the committee. There's a committee set up, और वो कमिटी रिव्यू करती है कि ये बिल अगर सही है या गलत है. If the committee gives an assent कि हाँ ये बिल सही है, then the bill gets passed. This is basically what is in what happens in Rajya Sabha. After that, if and also we need to understand that if a bill is passed in Lok Sabha, it should be passed in the Rajya Sabha the same way. There can be no changes to it, and then only the bill is made into an act. So you can see, we need to understand what is a deadlock here. So basically, this is Lok Sabha. and this is Rajya Sabha. अगर लोकसभा और राज्यसभा एक पॉइंट पे नहीं आ पा रहे हैं कि ये बिल लोकसभा में बोल रहे हैं कि पास होना चाहिए, राज्यसभा इस सेइंग नहीं होना चाहिए, तो वो जाता है असेंट के लिए। यहाँ पे ये है हमारे प्रेसिडेंट। The president sets up a committee. The president calls both the members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha to come together into one house and decide what changes are required. This key is basically the changes that are required to the bill, and then only the bill gets passed and it is then made to an act. That is it. Sorry. Okay. Now, money bill. What is a money bill? Money bill can be issued in लोक सभा ओनली। मनी बिल जो होता है पहले आपको लोकसभा में लाना कंपलसरी है। जो ऑर्डिनरी बिल्स होते हैं वो डायरेक्टली राज्यसभा में भी आप लेके जा सकते हो, लेकिन मनी बिल्स को कंपल्शन है कि वो लोकसभा में आना चाहिए। आफ्टर दैट 14 days ऑफ टाइमर इज गिवन टू द राज्यसभा। राज्यसभा को 14 days में उसको रिव्यू करके पास करना पड़ेगा या फिर अमेंडमेंट्स के लिए वापस भेजना पड़ेगा। After that, there are no joint sittings for money bill. If it is passed in Lok Sabha, then it is passed in Rajya Sabha, then only it can become an act. That is it. Constitutional amendments can be there. And now we need to understand, this is the President's table. After the bill is passed in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, the bill comes to the President for assent. प्रेसिडेंट की इस पे सिग्नेचर चाहिए होती है कि प्रेसिडेंट ने अगर सिग्नेचर दे दिया तो वो बिल बन जाता है एक्ट। दिस इज द लास्ट एंड थर्ड स्टेप फाइनली विच कम्स अंडर आर्टिकल 111। नाउ द बिल इज पास्ड। The bill is passed in the Lok Sabha, the bill is passed in the Rajya Sabha, the bill is assented by the president. Now what? How will the people be notified that the bill is passed? We have Gazette of India. गैजेट ऑफ इंडिया में अगर वो बिल पब्लिश हो जाता है तो वो बिल बन जाता है एक एक्ट अंडर आर्टिकल 13, 32 to 26। कोर्ट्स कैन ऑलवेज चेक इफ अ लॉ breaks the constitution or not and they can revoke it. The law begins immediately on a set date or when notified by the government. if अगर आज एक बिल पास हुआ तो वो आज से भी लागू हो सकता है, या फिर जो डेट सेट की गई है कि 1 अगस्त से लागू होगा तो वो 1 अगस्त को लागू होगा, या फिर by when the government notifies, जब गवर्नमेंट गैजेट में देगा वो बिल तब वो एक्ट बन जाएगा। Now remember this journey, this is all basically the roadmap. The bill comes, all the steps we understood here. After the bill is published in the Gazette of India, it becomes an act. So students, I hope you understand how a bill turns into an act, how a rule turns into an act. And I would like you to tell me one answer. That is, I need you to find who is the Speaker of Lok Sabha right now and put it in the comment section for me. Thank you all for listening and thank you. And if you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you again.